You're going to be on Instagram. You're going to be on this, and people are going to talk about, I use this shoe for speed work. I use this shoe for long runs.
What's up, guys? My name is Rob, and this is Rob on the Run podcast, a running podcast for all healthy lifestyles. And today I have a very special guest. I follow him. I've been following him for quite a while on YouTube and Instagram. It's Cody, and I love his content. I'm not going to get into details because I'd rather him say it. But I just wanted to say thank you very much, Cody, for finally accepting. We were talking before we started recording that I was dumb enough to write on the comments on your YouTube trying to convince you to come to the podcast. And then it dawned on me one day, I follow you on Instagram. Why not do it that way? And I might have a better success. And I did. You answered really quick, so I appreciate it. But Cody, how you doing? How's everything doing over there in the East Coast?
I'm doing well, and I'm glad you reached out on Instagram. So one of the things I said to Rob was, it's so hard sometimes with YouTube to tell what's a bot and who's a person.
Yeah,
and I get so many bots reaching out to me, and I try on YouTube to answer every question, and I try to be involved in the community. But sometimes you get that message, and you're like, I don't know if that's real or not. So I am glad you reached out. I'm glad you jumped on Instagram, and I appreciate you inviting me on the pod. Things are going good. It's the end of summertime here at the Jett household, so getting the miles in, getting the shoe reviews in, and pretty soon sending the kids off to school. So we're getting close.
That's awesome. And what's summer for you, Cody, to begin with? Because I'm in Texas, and I'm pretty sure it's completely different. So what's summertime for you over there? So
for us, it starts in June. So the kids get out in June, and we go from like June to like August, give or take. And it's gets really hot in August.
Okay.
Now, usually June, we're kind of comfortable. I'm still maybe a long sleeve or like a t-shirt running. Mm-hmm. But this year, extremely hot. We had a heat wave here, and I remember talking to people in Texas and Arizona, and they were like, your temperatures might be hotter than us because we don't even get the heat, we get the humidity.
Okay.
So we had some temperatures that were, I'm telling you, I did a run, and I was dying. Oh, wow. I was dying. I got done. I was like, I'm going to do 12 miles. I got to 8 and I'm dying. So for me, typically it's like a mild summer. This year was too hot. But again, it's mainly from June to August. And then after Labor Day, we kick the kids back to school. Mm-hmm. And pretty much it's just the onslaught of kid activities, work, all those extracurricular activities. So
that's amazing. Yeah. Surprisingly for us here in Houston, we actually had what we would consider a mild summer. It's still in the high 90s, but not as hot as it usually is. Last year, we broke records in August for the most consecutive 100-degree weather. So we actually have had maybe a couple this year, which is okay because tomorrow, actually, I'm going to do an ultra at 12 midday, and it's called the Habanero 100, and usually it's like the hottest ultra in Texas, at least. And I'm looking forward to it because we're supposed to get some rain and hopefully no thunderstorms. But yeah, it's definitely very hot and humid here in Texas. But living here for 20 years, I think I already got used to it. I actually enjoy the summer more than the fall for me. But good to know that we're not the only ones getting the heat, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is the first year where I'm able to come back to people in comments. Usually I'll be like, oh, it's a little hot, and I'll get a comment, well, you don't know what Arizona temperature is. Or this is the first year where I'm able to be like, you know what? Today was hotter here than it was in Texas. So get off my back, people. When I say I'm hot and I'm tired, I'm actually hot and tired. So, but also when it snows here, and I say, whoa, it was cold and everything, all the Texas people kind of get hidden a little bit. They don't drop into my comments telling me that I don't understand what cold is. So, then you guys get like a little bit of snow and you shut down your towns. Whereas we got with snow, we're just cruising along. So, it's a win. It's a win for the North this year. Yes, that's all I'm going to say.
It's a win for the North, and you're 100% right. When we get a little bit of snow, it's shut down city here, man. I will tell you, I lived in Austin a couple years ago, and we had that big blizzard or snow come in. And actually, the funny thing is, they were saying that it was colder where we were at in Texas than Alaska. So I guess a win for Texas in that case, right?
There you go. But that's like the win you don't want in Texas. You don't want to be beating Alaska. You know what I mean? If you're like, we were a little bit colder than, North Carolina, or then you're like, okay, I can live with that. But Alaska, Let them have that record.
Let
Keep
them,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they're already used to it. They know what they're doing. They bring that type of weather over here, and we're
yep.
running around buying toilet paper like it's the end of the world. So yeah.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right. I mean, but I gotta say, you're about to do a 100-mile race
Yeah.
in Texas in August.
Yeah.
Now that's pretty brutal. That's
Yeah.
you're signing up for a Sufferfest. So I do gotta
Yeah.
ask you one question.
Yeah.
Is this what type of course is this? Is this a looped course where you have
It's
multiple aid stations? Okay. All
yeah,
right.
it's a loop it's a loop of course. It's 6 miles per loop.
Okay.
So it's controlled in a way because
Okay.
you can finish a loop, rehydrate, do whatever you got to do. But yeah, it's still very, very hot. And the added bonus to this is that there's patches of sand in between the things. So imagine the sun beating you down and then the sand on the other side as well. So it is a very, very interesting ultra.
Yeah.
They do tell you on the website straight up, they tell you need to train for the heat. So
Yeah.
plan to run in the afternoon, plan to run when at the hottest time so you can get acclimated as best
Yeah.
as you can, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's what I did for the last like 2-3 months. I would run midday when the
Okay.
sun's beating you at the most, 3 o'clock. Usually 3 o'clock is the worst. And that's what I would do. I would just run
Nice.
as much as I can and as hydrated as I could. But I'm ready. After 3 months of doing
Yeah.
that for yeah, 3 months. I finally I think I'm ready. We'll
All
see how
right.
it goes. The one crazy thing that they gave us because I joined the little live feed that they do to give you the rules and all that.
Yeah.
The guy said, don't go out too fast because that's why 90% of the people DNF. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. I mean, like especially like it being a 6-mile loop, you want to get your instincts are let me get some leeway on some of these people and everything like
Yeah.
that. But if you go out too hard,
Mm-hmm.
it's because again, we joke it's not a race, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. No, this is
Mm-hmm.
an ultra marathon. I
Yeah.
mean, the marathon got nothing on a 100-mile.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
mean, you're out there, you got the ice packs on. So now that's gonna be a good time.
It's going to
So
be
it's a
fun, man.
suffer
It's going to
fest,
be
but
fun.
gonna be fun.
Oh yeah,
So
a good friend of mine always tells me, embrace the suck. So
yep,
that's exactly what we're gonna do, right? We got to
nice,
embrace it and take it easy and wait until like 4 or 5 o'clock once the sun starts setting down, and then the weather gets a
smart.
little bit better, and then that's where we kind of pick it up a little
Okay,
bit. So that's
yeah,
that's that's a game plan. Hopefully, I can stick to
okay,
it. You know how it is when you're at
oh
in the
yeah,
starting line, that adrenaline hits, and then you think you're Michael
oh yeah.
Phelps or something, or Usain Bolt, in other
Usain
words.
Bolt, yep. You got that urge, and you're just all of a sudden you look at your watch and you're dropping a 6-minute mile, and you're like, "Ooh, what did I
Not
do?"
smart.
Not smart. And you can talk yourself into it mentally the night before, where you're like, "All right, I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna be smart," and then instantly you're like, "Nope, I'm gonna be
Nope.
dumb, and
It
I'm
goes
running."
it goes
So
out the
been
window,
there,
all the
done
logic.
that, and regretted it almost every time.
Yeah,
So,
no,
but
for sure, for sure. And I'm telling myself that, so I'm hoping that will be the case, man. But it's not about me. As you said earlier as well, you have your podcast, so you kind of
I
feel
do.
the urge to
Yep.
take over, which I completely understand. But let's talk about you, man.
All right.
How did you first get into running, and how did you fall in love with the sport?
So it's really fun. I was not a person that ran throughout high school.
Yeah.
I did not. I came to running later in my life.
Okay.
So I hated running in high school. I'm not exaggerating when I say I hated it. I played baseball, and the longest I had to go to was first to home, or from home to first. And
Yeah.
if I was lucky, maybe a couple extra bases. That's
Yeah.
not a lot. And
Yeah.
when my coach would tell me, "Hey, we're doing laps," oh, my hamstrings hurt. Coach, maybe I might need to sit this one out. So I was not a runner, and I openly admit this. Throughout college, I did not run.
Okay.
And then I started dating now my wife,
Mm-hmm.
Emily, best person I know,
Yeah.
and she was a runner. So we started dating, and she's like, "Oh, I'm a runner," and I'm like, "Yeah, me too. Of course I run." Like, yeah, naturally. So I started running a little bit, but nothing crazy. I
Yeah.
did some 5Ks with her. I did my first 5K ever with her.
Mm-hmm.
I did it in Ocean City, or no, Sea Isle in New Jersey.
Okay.
Did about a 29-minute 5K, which is
Okay.
respectable.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was dying. I finished that finish line and I drank like 8 water bottles. Seriously, I
Yeah.
drank, I was like, I thought I was gonna die. And I told her at this point, I was like, maybe this running thing isn't for me. But I kept getting out there, running with her, but I never considered myself a runner. Fast forward to the pandemic.
Yeah.
The world shuts down. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I got 2 little ones. The house is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, I'm fried, right?
Yeah.
I'm working, trying to figure out what's the world. And where I live, they were like, if you can you can go out if you're doing physical activity.
Yeah.
So me and my wife would take turns throughout the day of running. So
Mm-hmm.
I just run out there a couple miles, nothing crazy. And it created such a mental room for me to think,
Yeah.
a room for me to just recharge and to rebalance my life. Something I was looking for. When I played baseball, I could do that with baseball.
Yeah.
I probably have been looking at that for quite some time, and it took me until I was in my 30s to realize what I needed, right?
Yeah.
So I started running during the pandemic, and I got the bug. Previously, I did not get the bug. I
Yeah.
was like, running is whatever, right? I
Yeah.
just do it to hang out with my wife. I got the itch, and
Yeah.
I started signing up for virtual runs. Did the Believe in the Run grit? Remember they did that Believe in the Run grit challenges, and I
Yeah.
jumped
Yeah.
on that, and I had so much fun. I was like, this community is amazing. I didn't even know this community existed. I love the
Yeah.
Believe in the Run guys, that whole crew, and then I started meeting other people on Instagram, and then I signed up for a half marathon virtual run all by
Yeah.
myself,
Oh, wow.
and I did it. And I was like, this is amazing. I can't believe I did this. And so now I'm going down the rabbit hole, and I'm not doing shoe reviews. I'm just loving running, loving the community,
Yeah.
meeting new friends via, because again, the world was still shut down,
Yeah.
via Instagram, sharing like, hey, I just started running. And the embrace of the community was so infectious. So
Yeah.
that was one of the huge things. And then my welcome to it was I'm in my 30s. I'm 37.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple years ago, I'm like to my wife, before I turn 40, I want to do a marathon.
Okay.
If you would have asked young Cody, I would have said, yeah, no. If I say I'm doing a marathon, I'm kidnapped and come save me. I said, I want to do a, and my wife looked at me. She goes, well, do it now. Like, we're never going to have this time back. Go do it now. And I trained for the Philadelphia Marathon a couple
Mm-hmm.
years ago, and I did it. I set a
Awesome.
goal. I wanted to do 3:30. I did like, what, 3:21.
Oh, wow.
And I felt amazing. I didn't know what I was doing. I was making it up. I was reading articles on how to train, right? I didn't know
Yeah.
what I was doing. But that was my moment where I fell in love with running, and I was like, I am a runner. Now,
Oh, wow.
before, everybody would have said, Cody, you're a runner. But it was that moment, right? You cross
Mm-hmm.
that finish line. I'm like, I'm a runner. And that's instantly where I fell in love with running. And then just the snowball effect of signing
Yeah.
up for different races, different distances,
Mm-hmm.
and all that fun jazz.
Yeah, it you remind me of me as well. I got into running through my fiance. We're getting married in a couple months, and
Nice.
she invited me to a 5K. I finished it like in 30 minutes, and I asked around like because I wasn't a runner and I didn't even expect a medal even at that. When they gave me a medal at the end, I'm like, I didn't even place. What are you talking about? And they told me, oh no, everybody gets it. If you finish, you're a finisher. You get a finisher medal. I'm like, oh my God, that's the coolest thing ever,
Yeah.
you know? And so I started asking friends that were runners, that I knew that were runners. And I told them, what is 30 minutes a reasonable time to run a 5K, or that's too slow? And they gave me kind of like the answer, like, it's okay. And I think that got me more motivated to, I don't want to be just okay. I want it to be like amazing. Like, oh my God, you're fast. That's what I wanted to hear. You know? And I got the total opposite. So that's how mine started. And yeah, it's a downhill from there, because after that, I signed up for another 5K. I improved my time. And then I said, you know what? Let me try a 10K. Let me try a half. And then at half, I said, I will never do a full marathon. That's just ridiculous. Who would put themselves through that pain for a full marathon? I'm already in pain and a half to begin with. Double the pain for a full, you know?
Yeah.
And then something clicked, and I ended up doing one. Now I'm on my 7th. But yeah, I started the same way. I hated running too. I hated running when I was a kid. I hated running, even baseball. I played baseball, and base running was not my thing. So it's crazy. It's just crazy how one thing kind of clicks and it works out, right?
It is. And you know what the craziest part is? If you said, hey, before I got married, Cody, like, what sport would your family be in love with.
Yeah.
I would have said baseball, soccer, maybe, one of the sports.
Yeah.
I have two daughters. I have an 8-year-old and I have a 5-year-old.
Okay.
And running is our sport.
That's
They
awesome.
love it. They love running with my wife.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
mom, can I come with you? Hey, dad. Some of my favorite moments of running are pushing my oldest daughter in a stroller,
Mm-hmm.
running, getting a couple miles,
Yeah.
stopping at the playground, letting her jump out and have a good time, and getting back in. But my favorite part is my oldest daughter is very much like me. She's very sarcastic and really funny. She would name all the people that were faster than me when I would run.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
we're not talking about like runners. We're talking about Nana, Pap, Mimi, like all. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I'm doing like a 7:30 pace, and you're out here just like grilling me that I'm not fast enough. That like your grandparents are faster than me.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, but those are the memories I remember. Now
That's
she's
awesome.
older. She won't go in a stroller. She's running with us. Like we
Yeah.
do little kid races. We do 5Ks together. But I still remember that little one. Can I come with you? Jumping in the stroller and just doing a couple miles and just loving it. And again, now that she loves it too, which is really cool. We're like, we go to races together, and we aren't the type of parents that are forcing our kids to do this.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, we're going to do it. And they're just like, can I find a 5K? Can I
That's
find a kid
awesome.
race? Can I do this? And, and I love it. I love, it's really important for our family to be healthy and everything like that. And
Yeah.
the fact that they found it themselves
Yeah.
is like even better.
No, and you paved the way in a way, they saw you doing it, and most kids see their parents do something and they get inspired through it. If it's not running, maybe they'll pick up a different sport, but at least, like you said, healthy, stay healthy. And that's awesome that you have that time, to enjoy with your kids.
So I will say, I can't take credit for this. This is all my wife. My
Your wife, yeah.
is amazing. Seriously, she got me to be a runner, and the fact that she runs, my kids want to be like mom, and it pure, and I'm okay with that. Like, there's no like, wow, why don't I want to be like me? No, they want to be like mom, and mom is one of my favorite people. So the fact that they want to be like her, I am all for it. So when mom runs, they want to run.
Yeah.
My wife did a 5K and won, so she's pretty darn fast, and
nice.
you would have thought she won the Olympic medal. They're jumping. They're like, go, mom, go. And I'm like that too. I get more hyped watching my wife run than I do for myself, right?
Yeah.
Watching a friend, but like they're just like, go, 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 go. And in this race, you didn't get medals. They got pie. But you would have thought this pie, which I have no idea if it was good or not, was like the world's great. They were like, my mom won a pie. She's amazing. I would be like my mom.
Yeah.
And like that's what's like really cool about this sport. You can share these moments with them, and we also show them that like we don't win all the time.
Yeah.
Like you can work as hard as you want. And that's the cool thing about running. It is one of the most humbling sports. You can have the world's perfect training block.
Yeah.
And my kids get to see the good and the bad. When I'm tired, when I'm hurting, when I have an amazing run. And when it doesn't turn out, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like that's the beauty of this sport. Like, and they learned that from us. They're like, hey, I gave it my all. I did not hit my goal, but guess what? That doesn't mean I stop now. I'm just going to keep pushing forward. And, we try to lead by example. So.
No, yeah. It's a resilience in the sport. You can, like you said, you can have a perfect training block. You hit all the runs that you wanted, the long runs, everything clicked, and then on race day, just something goes sideways, and it's okay. And it's good that your kids in your case are learning that in a young age, because I feel nowadays a lot of people that don't have that type of mentality, they don't hit their race, they get injured in a race, then they really put themselves so down that they go into a real bad mental health issue. Like their mental issues come up, and they stop loving the sport for what it is. So I like hearing that, because it took me a while. I started very late as well. I was 37, I think, when I started running.
Okay.
Like really running races, and nobody in my family runs, so it's I'm the only one that actually does it for the fun of it, for the hobby of it, for the healthy aspect. And it took me a while to understand, hey, there's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days, but you're still putting one foot in front of the other, and that's the best thing about it. And it took me a while, but it finally clicked, and I said, you know what, Running is for fun. Make sure it's fun, and whatever happens in a race, if you PR, if you don't PR, if you DNF, it's okay. Everything it's part of the process, So that's kind of cool to hear that. But you are a trail runner too, right?
I am. I do roads and I do trails. So after I finished the Philly marathon, people would be like, "Oh, you're probably satisfied." And I looked at my wife and I go, "How far could I go?" And she was like, my wife's like my biggest supporter, and she was like, "Ha ha ha ha. Okay, you're an idiot. What do you want to do?" You know what I mean? It was like that fool, like, is he kidding me? You're kind of an idiot. I love you. What do you think? And then I found one. It was like a 50K in our local area.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. I convinced her to do it with me. Now, my wife never did a marathon. But she was like, maybe I'll do a 50K with you. Just jump straight to the deep end.
Yeah.
So we trained together for that first 50K. And it was awesome. Like, we didn't always do our runs together, but we had it like that camaraderie. Like, hey, I just went out for 4 hours. You just went out for 4 hours the day before. Like, man, I am tired. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, it's nice to have that. And it also just the support of it. Like, I will say, it's nice to having a wife that is also a runner because she gets it. When I say I'm tired, you know what I mean? Like, understands it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so I did my first 50K. It was the Dirty German 50K.
Nice.
And it's in Philadelphia. And the cool thing about Philadelphia is, unlike like the West Coast, you're going to have technical trail, but you don't really have straightaways. It is choppy the whole time. We don't have big climbs, but we always say the East Coast is death by 1,000 paper cuts. It is just choppy the whole way.
Yeah.
And it was cool. I loved it. I had a great time. My wife actually DNF'd that one. She finished, so it was 2 loops.
Okay.
After the first loop, she was like, I'm done.
Okay.
It was a monsoon. The winds were like 70 mile per hour winds. I'm telling you, it was crazy. It rained the whole time and it was just a mud fest. And she's like, I'm out. I'm good. Yeah. Like, I don't, I'm, and I remember that moment. Should I stop too? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's my partner. She's my, you know what I mean? Yeah. And she's like, no, you got to go. I'm dropping out. You go. And I said, I'm going to go and I'm going to do this last lap. And it was painful, but awesome at the same time. I tell that to people all the time. It was like, so I crossed that finish line at the Dirty German, completely muddy, a little bloody, bacon in my hand. Seriously, I had bacon in my hand from the last aid station to keep me warm. Yeah. I crossed that finish line. They gave me my medal. They gave me my hat. Nice. And the first instinct I said, well, that sucked. That was horrible. Yeah. I can't feel my legs. Wow.
Oh, wow.
I wonder if I could do another one. Like, that was my thought process, and it was, so I did. I split my time between roads and trails. The furthest I've gone is 50K. I've not jumped up to any further distance, mainly because of the time commitment. It's such a time commitment to do anything longer than that. But yeah, I've done both. I've done 3 or 4 50Ks, and I've done 3 marathons. Nice. And I've paced my one buddy, Kevin, through a multiple 100-miler. So I'll go out there for like the last, anywhere from 20 to 26 miles with him. Yeah. So aid, crew him, very awesome. Much that. But I love being both. I do. I love being roads and I love being trails. Mainly because, when I'm doing road work, I get to be fast. And then I get to bring that over to the trails. But then I get to bring my endurance from the trails to the roads. It's just like a good combination. So, but I also love both cultures. They're different. Everybody I will say I'm coming more closer to loving the road culture more than I am the trail culture right now. Yes. I find the road one to be infectious right now. Run groups everywhere. Oh, that's true. We don't care what your paces are. Come join. We're having a blast. We're going to go get donuts at the end of it. Now, I don't always think you have to do it, but like, I like that, because I think with running, I said in the beginning, one of the best parts about the running community, was the community. I felt infectious. They welcomed me. Yes. And I'm starting to slowly find the trail community to be a little gatekept, to be honest with you. I find it a little bit more gatekept. Brands coming in. Well, we don't want that brand. We don't want that runner. We don't want this. And me personally, if you want to run and you're a good person, come on in. I want to run with you. I want to see you on a starting line. Yeah. I want to see you. I want to follow you along. I want to cheer you on. I don't care, what you did. As long as you're not a bad person. Yeah. Come on in. Have a good time. So
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And do you think that the reason why it's like that for road races versus trails is because it's harder to actually have like a running club, a social running club when it comes to trails? Because I don't maybe you know more than I do, but I don't hear a lot of running like trail run clubs, I guess I should say, where they meet up,
yeah.
on a Friday night or Friday afternoon to go run a trail. I don't hear that very often, at least
No,
here in Texas.
they're definitely out there. In Pennsylvania, we have a couple. Chasing Trails.
Hmm.
I mean, honestly, we have like multiple ones that meet either on the weekends or weekday,
Yeah.
variety of different ones. So the trail ones are there. I think they're really the divide is trail running is trying to become professionalized,
Yeah.
and they're trying to be more. Road running's been there, right?
Yeah.
Somebody wins NYU
Yeah.
marathon. They're
Yeah.
coming away with like a lot of money. The
Yeah.
bag is huge. Trail
Oh
running
yeah.
doesn't have that yet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if you win Western States, the biggest race in trail running, you come out with $0. Now your sponsor might give you, but the race gives you no money. So I
Yeah.
think that's the difference between it. Trail running is in a crossroads. You have the dirt bags, the guys are like, hey, I'm just gonna throw something in my back pocket and I'm going out and I'm going shirtless and I'm enjoying it. And then you have the other group that's like, I'm rocking Satisfy. Give me the Norda shoes, and I'm part of that, right? I wear all
Yeah.
that stuff, like,
Yeah.
but like you have it's the different divides, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I don't necessarily see that much with road running. A lot of it's just paces, but like
Yeah.
they're all welcome. You're gonna have a meetup for a road group. Some people are gonna be going out in 6 minutes,
Yeah.
and some are going to be in 13 minutes.
Yeah.
And guess what? When they all get back to the run shop or the spot they're grabbing drinks, they're all hanging out. They're all having
Yeah.
fun. Nobody's like, you can't run with me. You don't run a 6 minute mile. That's not what it is,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's
No,
not
yeah.
what the social group is. Now, when you are running your speed work, yeah, you're going to be running with people your paces, but this is a social
Yeah.
effort. So I
Yeah.
think that's where the big difference is. I think there's such a crossroads with trails right now. So,
Yeah, and I'm barely getting started with trails. This is actually going to be
okay.
my first trail ultra run.
Ooh,
I did the a Ragnar trail race, but I really didn't consider that one as an ultra because
okay.
it's a relay and it's like a 2 mile, a 3 mile loop or something like that. So even though it was a really fun one, this
Yeah.
is one that it's just me by myself, and it's going to be the
Yeah.
first one to really see if I like it. Just like you when you were saying that you
Yeah.
finished yours and you said it sucked, and then you signed up for another one. That's
Yeah.
what I'm kind of going for. If I like this one, I might do another one in December. And I'm saying might just because I got to protect my wallet and my big boss lady that makes the decisions if I should sign up. Um, One of the reasons is why we're barely getting married. We've been together for 6 years, and every year I kind of sign up for races that I'm not supposed to.
Sounds about right.
You
But
know?
I mean, but that is true. I mean, you hinted on something important, and I think that's another reason why it's great to have these run groups.
Yeah.
Racing is so expensive right now, especially in
Yeah.
the trail scene.
Oh
Some
yeah.
trail races are pricey. There, I will say, and I got to give credit there. We have some groups in Pennsylvania that
Hmm.
they call them the naked run. So naked Nick, naked this,
Okay.
because you don't get a shirt, you don't get a medal, and
Hmm.
it's like $25 to do a 50K.
That's awesome.
So like you're just paying for what, and the guys like, I'm not making money on this. I
Yeah.
love the running scene so much, and I get it. Not everybody can do that, but I
Yeah.
do. I wish more people had that, because I've talked to so many people around the world, and I've said this. Hey, dude, I do this naked run. I think it was like 20, $30, and they're like, we don't have that where we are. The
Yeah.
cheapest race I can find was like $90, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that sucks. So like for somebody that's not sure if they like it or not, right?
Yeah.
That wants to do the first 50K, it is nice to have that. Hey, I'm just gonna pay $30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna go suffer. You know what I mean? It's a one thing when you're like, I gotta go spend $200. I gotta go travel somewhere. It's tough. So
Yeah. No, yeah, it is. I mean, this race, the one I did, luckily, a running store where I used to live from, my hometown, sponsored it. They actually
nice.
send me a pair of shoes as well, which I felt like Cody. I was like, yes, I can finally, I have a pair of shoes that I can review and whatnot, but the race was going to be like $190.
Okay.
And for people that are on the fence, that like
Yeah.
I want to see how far I can go, kind of people, but then they see the price, it could be a reason for them not to do it, you know?
Yeah. And I get both sides. The race director, there's so many bills, and so I see
Oh
both
yeah,
sides. It's just so tough right now, right?
yeah,
With the economy we live in.
yeah.
But question for you, what was the shoe they sent you?
The Speed Goats, the Speed Goat 6.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They're
All right.
amazing shoes.
Okay.
I tried them. I went to the actual course where we're going to do it tomorrow because I like to get an idea what I'm getting
Okay.
myself into. So I went and I tried them and they felt very comfortable.
Ooh,
The
okay.
only thing difference that I had to do is I put insoles, special insoles, because I have
Okay.
what they call pancake feet. So I need a little bit more support because
Okay.
no matter if I run 3 miles or 26 miles, if I don't
Yeah.
have good support in my insoles, or forget it,
Yeah.
my feet are hurting instantly. So, but I finally found something that works. But man, those
Okay.
shoes are amazing. And
Nice.
the other shoes I had were the what were they? The Brooks Cascadia, I think they're called.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
they're okay. They're okay.
Yeah.
Now that I put the insoles, it made a big difference. It's funny how
Okay.
just a little
Oh
thin
yeah.
makes such a big difference in a shoe,
It
you know.
does.
You know,
No,
but
and I always tell that to people when they're looking at my shoe reviews and everything like that.
yeah,
Or if you're finding a reviewer you like,
yeah,
find somebody that kind of models your
yeah,
foot.
yeah.
So like I don't have a super narrow foot.
Okay.
So if you have a super narrow foot, I try to give you insight on that,
Yeah,
but it's not a one-to-one comp. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because I've had some people like my shoes, like, it's not wide enough. Well, I don't have Flintstone feet. I try to give that input, you know what I mean? But it's
yeah,
really
yeah,
tough. So I always tell you, it's kind of with a lot of things. Is there a perfect reviewer? No. Find the
yeah,
perfect reviewer for you
yeah,
because they will again give you the what's working. Okay, I know I tried these 5 shoes and they also tried those 5 shoes and it works for their foot.
yeah,
Okay, maybe you're on to something, you know?
yeah. And that brings up a really good point. What inspired you to start your YouTube channel and
Yeah.
the shoe in with Cody?
Yeah, so I never thought I would have a YouTube channel and I never thought I'd be doing shoe reviews. So, but I grew up with not a lot of money.
Okay.
And when I first started running, like buying a pair of shoes was a commitment.
Hmm.
Like if I was buying them, even if there was like I would go to Ross and buy shoes, even if they were $60. Like
Yeah,
that was a lot of money for me
yeah,
at the time. And I started going down the shoe reviews and watching them. And there was somebody that did a shoe review. I won't say their name. And they said they loved the shoe.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, okay, I see it's on sale. I'm gonna go buy it.
yeah,
And I absolutely hated it.
yeah,
And I reached out to them. I said, dude, like, how did you like the shoe? It's so hard.
yeah,
And the person was like, well, we kind of had to give it a good review because we felt bad. We bet dog and I was like, that sucks.
yeah,
Like I just spent my own money buying a shoe that you didn't even personally like.
yeah,
So that really just kind of pissed me off. And I remember talking to my wife and I was like, this isn't right. Like, kind of complaining a little bit. Like, how could you do this? People trust you. And then she's like, well, why don't you do it?
yeah,
And I was like, do what? And she was like, do reviews. So I started doing 1 minute shoe reviews because I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing. So I
yeah,
started the 1 minute shoe review, everything you needed in 1 minute, no glitz, no glam, and it worked
yeah,
really well. The issue with that is I was getting a lot of views, but not a lot of subscribers.
yeah,
Which kind of, so like when you're working with brands that they're like, okay, you got good views, but nobody's following you.
yeah,
So that was an issue. I had to figure out YouTube and I had to figure out what I wanted to be, right? I had to figure out my niche. But it all started with that one shoe I hated.
yeah,
And then it just grew into this. And I will say, anybody that's looking to start shoe reviews,
yeah,
find your why. And if
yeah,
you continue to find the why,
yeah,
then you will find meaning in almost every review you do.
yeah.
The why can't be, I want to make money. Right? Because then you're just do
100%.
whatever you
Yeah.
want. But if the why was, hey, I understand how hard it is and money is tight.
Hmm.
That when I say, Rob, buy this shoe,
Yeah.
that I fully 100% feel like you should buy this shoe.
Yeah.
I will never say buy a shoe. And I've had people who were like, well, one of the brands going to be mad. Such is life. If the brand gets mad at me because I gave an honest review, then they probably don't, then we're just not meant to work together.
Yeah.
And, I'll give one brand where I polite. So I'll never be mean, right? I'm
Yeah.
not a mean person. I'll just say it didn't work for me. Was
Yeah.
the first Tracksmith running shoe.
Okay.
I said it did not work for me. I'm never running this shoe. And I gave a
Yeah.
long reason why. Tracksmith reached out to me and said, we actually really appreciate your honest review.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Like, and we want to continue the work with you. Don't think this is going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I found more times brands appreciate your honesty, because when I do say, I love this shoe,
Yeah.
you all know I love this shoe.
Yeah.
Because I just said this other shoe I absolutely did not like. Now I'm saying the same brand, I absolutely love this shoe. You know it's coming with that honesty. But yeah, that was it. I mean, so
Well,
it really
you come
started
with that
I wanted to make
credibility, you know. You're
Yeah.
you're being honest, and I feel like if it's a good brand, that's what they want. That's why they reach out to people that do reviews, because they want them to be completely honest. And if they hear just what they want to hear, I guess it doesn't work for anybody,
Yeah,
you know. Just like
it
you said in
doesn't.
that situation where you bought that shoe and it totally was
Yeah.
horrible,
Yeah.
and the guy or the person that you asked basically did it just because he wanted to, I guess,
Yeah.
have the company send him more stuff, you know. And that's another
Yeah.
thing I think when you're reviewing, and that's just my humble, maybe ignorant opinion. Don't do it just because, oh, I'm going to get a free pair of shoes, you know, or I'm going to get free swag and now I can
Yeah.
show it off at online.
Yeah.
And so people can think I'm this big time influencer,
Now,
you know.
I will say it's the first time I got that first shoe for free was awesome. And
yeah.
and now I've been doing this for like over almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
And when I get that product, and I still get that feeling
Yeah.
of like, this is awesome. Like, I am privileged. I know I am privileged. I know I'm not the norm, guys. And I openly admit that. And I talk to people all the time. Like, I know how lucky I am, but I also made that luck, right?
Yeah.
I put the work in. The amount of emails and messages I sent, you know, you said I kept messaging you, Cody, and you kept ignoring me. I was doing that with every brand when I started.
Okay.
So I was reviewing shoes I purchased. And then I would reach out to a Hoka. Hey, my name is Cody with the Shoe In With Cody. This is who I am. I'd love to work with you. Silence.
Mhm.
Hey, Brooks, I'm Cody, the Shoe In With Cody. Here I am. Silence. The amount of, and I just kept knocking on the door, and I kept knocking, and I always treated it as like a business of like, hey, this is who I am, and this is why you should want to work with me, and this is why I want to work with you, and this is what I'll do. And then the first brand to say yes to me was Norda.
Really?
And Norda said, we love you, Cody.
That's awesome.
We want to send you a pair of shoes. And they sent me a pair of the 001s. And I wore, that was the first 50K I did. I wore that shoe.
Nice.
And they said yes.
Well,
and
that's
then
awesome.
it was Territory Run Co.
Wow.
And then I started making some progress. I started making some headway.
Yeah.
And I always find it funny because I make fun of people that were satisfied, things like that. And
Mhm.
Norda sometimes gets lumped into them. And I
Okay.
think because people like, oh, well, Norda, they call it $200 or $300. Like, how could they ever charge that? And they're a fashion brand. I will openly say this: Norda is the most genuine and nicest brand I've ever worked with.
That's awesome.
Don't just because they charge a lot for the shoes, because the shoe's worth it.
Yeah.
They are the nicest and most sincere group of people. That they're a combo, a wife and it's Willow and Nick.
Okay.
Nicest group of people. And I'm not a big reviewer. Like, Believe in the Run has, and Kafuz, they have over 100,000, right?
Yeah.
I have 3,000 subscribers, and I'm proud of that. Don't get me wrong with that. But they treat me like I have 100,000.
Yeah.
They treat me like, Cody, we love you. We want to work with you. You're awesome. And then, like, they get, you know what I mean? And that means a lot to me. So I always like to say that when people are like, how dare this brand? I was like, but the people working there are the nicest people ever. Remember that. So,
well, and that's cool because I like those type of brands that, you know, obviously they still want you to have a certain amount of followers and stuff like that, because that obviously is good business for them, that you have a good following, but they don't concentrate too much on the number, you know. And that's cool that they gave you the opportunity, and look at you now. Like, personally, I when I stumbled into your Instagram first, I really enjoyed watching the way you express about the shoe and everything. And that's something that I've always had a hard time being able to do on a review. Like, if I want to do a review, for example, I'll give you an example. I got a random message from Instagram about Puma.
Okay.
And I think I maybe might have had 400 followers at that point, you know, and I thought it was spam. And I even wrote back and said, "Stop spamming me. Like, I know you're not
Yeah.
going to send me a pair of shoes. Like, just no." And they said, "No, no, this is true, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever." And then all we want you to do is get the shoe, try it on, and give us an honest review. And then I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. And I
Yeah.
think I started watching, trying to get ideas from other people that review
Yeah.
shoes. And I stumbled into you. And I love the way you do it because it's very easygoing. It's not too complicated. It's not too technical where you're talking about these crazy terms. Because I've seen other
Yeah.
YouTubers that get really technical, and then I'm like, what the hell does that mean? You know,
Yeah.
it's cool for the people that are very technical, I guess. But when you're talking to a big mass of people that there's everything, sometimes simple is better. You know, and for
Yeah.
me, that's how I am. I love
Yep.
for you to explain to me exactly what I need to hear and make for me to understand perfectly fine what's going on. And when I found that, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I want to do with these shoes. It didn't come out as good, unfortunately. You know, it was my first try.
Oh yeah.
But I will admit, when I got that first pair of shoe, I felt like, wow, like why
Right?
me? I even messaged them. Are you sure you're looking at the right person? Because I don't have that big of a following.
Yeah.
Like, why me?
Yeah.
You know?
No, and it is, and you know, and I appreciate you saying that because when I started, I
Yeah,
always said I was not going to use the jargon because I'm not a scientist.
yeah,
I don't. So when I see these people talking about the foams and all, I don't know that, and I can't fake it. And I'm not a person that takes fakes. Same thing with nutrition. Sometimes people are like, well, what does it do to your muscles? I don't know.
yeah,
I'm not a scientist, but I can tell you how I felt. I ran
yeah,
a whole marathon eating this gel and I didn't throw up. So that's a win. You know
yeah,
what I mean? But I can't tell you what it actually does to my body. I'm not a scientist and I'll never pretend to be one.
yeah,
And you know, and that's the thing. Like whenever whatever you see is what you get with me. So that genuine feeling when I get that first pair of shoe, any clothing,
yeah,
that like this is amazing, it is genuine. And
yeah,
it's funny because people started getting to know me, and I've
yeah,
gotten people be like, because people in my local area, they'll meet up with me at races and be like, hey, I want to talk to you, and they were like, your personality on camera is legit. Like you're
yeah,
just like I am. I try to be a happy person. I don't want to be a negative. I don't want to bring negativity to the internet. That's not
yeah,
what people want. You know, it's just not who I am. Do I have moments where I feel like crap and I'm negative?
yeah,
Sure. But I don't want to bring that. I don't want to be the guy that's negative, like, oh, this guy sucks, this shoot. You know what I mean? Like I want
yeah.
to be honest, but I do it in a way where I feel like I'm adding to the community and not
Hmm.
just being a negative guy.
No, and there's ways of being negative to where you're trying to hurt a brand, I guess. And then there's
Yeah.
the positive constructive criticism that you can give to where, you know, the shoe brand that you're reviewing, it's helpful for them to, you know,
Yeah.
fix if there's something they need to fix on the shoe for the next, you know,
Yeah.
next year's model or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about you. Like even though when you do not like the shoe, you know, you're graceful at it. You know,
Yeah.
you don't just say, "Oh my God, this damn shoe sucks," and I'm never gonna
Yeah.
wear it because it just
Well,
sucks. Or, you know, it would be easy. And honestly, in the world that we live in, social media, that might even bring you more
good.
followers and stuff like that. But that's I feel like for you, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm pretty sure I'm not. You are more about being honest and not just about those clicks, you know, and that's what makes
Yeah.
it your channel so good.
Yeah, and yeah, absolutely. And I'd rather be the honest guy than the guy with a billion followers. I'd
Yeah.
rather be the one that you can go to and be like, he actually means it. And also, I think that's like the other reason why I feel like I like YouTube more. I feel like I
Hmm.
can be myself. With
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah.
I don't like being clickbaity. I don't like doing the trends. I'm not going to be dancing. Now I dance with my daughters. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
do all
Yeah.
that fun stuff, but like I'm not going to dance with the shoe. Like I'm just it's not my thing. Like I seriously like it's hard for me sometimes. I want to be the guy that you click on his stuff and you're like that's who he is. That's what he means and what he says is what he means. So,
Well, and it goes back to being genuine. You know, if you do that, then it will show that you're not being genuine. And the way you do it is exactly what you would do if you even. I'm pretty sure if you even didn't have a
yeah.
YouTube channel, that's probably what you would have done in
Oh,
person, for example. You know,
yep.
but talking
Yeah.
about shoes, man. Do you have a favorite shoe, like your go-to shoe? I'm pretty sure it's the brand that you told me at first, but
So
is there a favorite shoe?
I do. So I'm going to do roads and I'm going to do trails.
Okay.
All right. And I got to give
Okay.
you two for each one because it's so hard, right?
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
roads, I got to give the Adidas SL or Evo SL.
Okay. Yeah.
That shoe for like it's like $140 and it's
Okay.
just freaking awesome. I love when a shoe is it's an awesome shoe and you're not going to break the bank. I
Yeah.
hate telling somebody I love a shoe that's like $250. It actually hurts me to say that. So
Yeah.
the Evo SL by Adidas, hands down my favorite shoe of 2025.
Nice.
The other one is mainly because I didn't expect it. I didn't think this brand had it in them. It has to be the Salomon Aero Glide 3.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The reason why is because I didn't expect it. That foam
Yeah.
is so good. That is a
Okay.
shoe I can do my easy runs in it, recovery
Mhm.
runs, and my long runs. Now I can't push the pace in it, but I'm okay with that. 80% of my runs I'm getting out with that shoe, and the durability of that foam,
Yeah.
second to none. Those
Wow.
are my two favorite road shoes right now.
Okay.
For my trail shoes, this is really difficult, but
Okay.
this is another brand I did not have on my bingo card.
Okay.
La Sportiva Prodigio Pro.
Okay. Oh, wow.
I always get messed. People jump in my DMs. I'm not Italian, guys. I'm gonna mess it up. Prodigio Pro.
Mm-hmm.
I wore this for a 20 miler and half marathon
Mm-hmm.
trail race. Love, love, love that shoe.
Okay.
It might be one of my favorite shoes. I don't know if I'd go longer than a 50K in
Yeah.
that shoe, but I love that shoe. And then the other one is again, another brand I didn't expect is the On Cloud Ultra Pro.
Wow.
On, again, don't always love On. Trail
Yeah.
shoes for On,
Yeah.
not my, you know what I mean? Usually not so
Yeah.
fun. This one is so comfortable, man.
Yeah.
You can pick the pace up. So for me, when I go to the trails, because I'm not podiuming. I openly admit this to everybody. I'm not a podium runner. I have to be able to run fast in the shoe,
Yeah.
hike in the shoe, and miserably walk in the shoe. If
Yeah.
I can do all three of those in the shoe, I call that a success, and I can do all three of those.
Okay.
I pick the pace up where I'm going 6-minute miles in the shoe. I've power hiked in the shoe, and I've also had where it's so dang hot, I'm
Mhm.
going 15-minute mile, and I'm just like slugfest in the shoe baby in my foot. So those are my two favorite trails and two favorite roads.
Wow. It's a shocker to hear about the Ons because Ons make really good road shoes. I actually
Yep.
have a pair of Cloud Monsters that
Okay.
I fell in love with for my mid run, between 10 miles, 10, 15 miles, I'll use that one.
Yep.
And I don't think I've ever heard that they had trail shoes. So I think that's my first time I hear that.
So my favorite is I recommended this to share with other
Mhm.
people.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite is when I get a DM.
Mm-hmm.
Holy hell, you aren't lying. And those two the Prodigio Pro
Uh-huh.
and the On shoe are both shoes where people are like, "Are you sure?
It's like, where did you?
You're not
I have
like,
never heard of that.
Are you messing with me, Cody? Like, are you getting money from this?" And I don't.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm telling you, if you're looking for this type of shoe, buy it. And both shoes, I've gotten messages where people are like, hot damn, you were right. And I love that. And I don't have to be right, but it's awesome when a shoe I love, other people love.
Yeah.
So
And how do you get these Italian shoes? Because I've never heard of that brand.
so again, that's just reaching out to these brands,
Okay.
La Sportiva, reaching out. And again, I've gotten to the point now where I'm working with almost every brand.
That's awesome.
And I just, again, it was a lot. It started with like, hey, here I am. Hey, here I
Yeah.
am. And every email I sent started differently. So at first it was, here I am. Here are my reviews. Then the
Mhm.
second one was like, hi, I'm Cody Jett. I'm working with Norda. Hi, I'm Cody Jett. I'm working with Norda and this one. And I will be honest with you, when I got Nike was
Yeah.
like, Cody, we love you. We want to send you a pair of shoes.
Oh, wow.
That was the moment. Boom. They were like, you're working with Nike?
Yeah.
Nike sending you shoes? Oh, dude, we want to send you shoes. And
Yeah.
it was really funny. Like, as I know some people make fun of Nike, and I don't always agree with what Nike does.
Yeah.
So let's just put that out there.
Yeah.
But man, they were the domino. Nike said, we want Cody, and we want to be a part of the Shoe In With Cody. Every brand was like, Nike wants you, we want you.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, but at least that's how it felt. Maybe the other brands were going to say maybe that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But sure as how it felt. Once I put Nike in there, all the other brands were like, hey, you're looking good, Cody. Can we work with you too? So it felt good. I felt
it helps. It helps out
dance.
with the resume to have them on there because
Exactly.
they're one of the bigger brands in general, not only with running but with basketball shoes and everything else. So it can only benefit you, right? Not make it worse. So that's pretty cool that you that helped you out. And thinking about what you were saying earlier, like how you would send emails in silence, and how good does it feel now that all those people, probably all those companies that probably never replied back, are now so interested in your reviews, right?
It feels great. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat and act like, oh no, no. I'm on cloud nine. I am very lucky with what I get to do.
Yeah.
I am lucky that on a day-to-day basis, shoes are getting delivered to me. I'm on cloud nine. So like
Yeah.
when I do an unboxing and I'm like, that's another unboxing, that's genuine.
Yeah.
So like when I didn't grow up with a lot of money, and I would get a pair of shoes and I would probably have to wear shoes until they fell apart. So now being a grown up, living the life I live, having the amazing family I have, having all like it's just like the cherry on top, right?
Yeah.
To be able to do what I get to do on a day-to-day basis, that I get to create this content, that I get to run in some of the world's greatest shoes.
Yeah.
It's just the cherry on top of my life.
That's awesome. And just for my curiosity, how many pairs of shoes do you now have?
So, all right. So we moved recently. So I got to emphasize this one. I donate a lot. So usually at the end of the year, I donate.
Okay.
I have well over 100 pairs of shoes at my house right now.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Between roads and trails. But usually once I feel like I haven't, so because we moved, I had to box a lot up. I reach out to different foundations. I'm like, hey, I have a ton of shoes. Can you, would you use them? The recent one was the Phoenix Phoenix group. They help people kind of replace addiction with sport.
Okay.
CrossFit, and they were starting a running group. And I was like, hey guys, I don't know how many people need 9.5 men's shoes.
Yeah.
But I have them. And they were like, yes, thank you.
That's awesome.
And I do that, or I'll reach out to the different running groups. And sometimes I feel like that guy selling stuff out of his car. I'll roll up with my trunk. Hey, does anybody need any shoes? But I understand, like, I'm very lucky. So I never sell shoes. I will not if a company gives me a free pair of shoes, I will not sell them. Yeah. I will give them. I will find somebody that needs a pair of shoes, and I want to make sure they're getting it, whatever the situation is. So I never sell the shoes. I never resell. Yeah. I make sure I give it to groups that need it, people that need it. And a lot of times I'll get messages from a friend that's in a running group. Hey, Cody, I know his family. Anything you can do. I'm like, yeah, here you go. Here's some shoes.
That's awesome.
Like, absolutely. So, because that makes me more happy, honestly. When I can give, so I get joy when I get a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
When I give a pair of shoes and I see the person being like, I got my first trail shoes. Like, oh my, I can't wait to hit the trails now. This is amazing. I don't have to wear my road shoes anymore. And I couldn't afford it. Like, that brings me actually more joy than anything else. And awesome. I've had that where, like, I've had people, like, I've given them shoes and I'm like, hey, like, do you want a jacket? Do you want this? And they were like, what? You're just going to give me a Brooks jacket? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. You need it more than I do. And, I want to make sure you all are ready to go. And, that brings me a lot of, that brings me more joy.
Passing it forward, honestly. Right? Like you're getting something for free to do what you love to do. Yep. Why not passing it forward to somebody that might need it? Like you said, more than what you probably would. So that's really cool, man. And other than, reviewing the shoes, do you do any other collaborations with other entities or? Yeah.
So I started writing for Reviews. So I work with two other reviewers. The Blake and Eric. I can't remember their names. I apologize to those two. They're like the rad dad bod. Man, they're gonna kill me for this. I apologize. I'm gonna look at who they are. We were talking. Yeah. So. Yeah, the Dad Bod, the Rad Dad Bod TV, and the TFXC shoes. So it's Blake and Eric.
Nice.
And I will also say, and I know we're coming close to time, and I don't want to keep it too long. They are amazing. Their reviews are top notch. If you're looking for somebody, I love Eric's reviews because not only does he do like, hey, this is like a day in the life of a dad, right? Yeah. He also does amazing reviews. And then Blake, he's out in Colorado. So you're going to get that awesome Colorado life. And he's like a billion times faster than I am. So you're getting a combination of us. So we start doing reviews. So we call us the up and runners. Okay. We're not quite there yet, but we will be there. We're the up and runners. and we write for Reviews, and we've been doing reviews for them for the past couple months. So
Okay.
that's been pretty fun. So I like it.
That's
So
awesome. That's awesome. And going back to, the shoes and stuff like that, because yeah, we are running out of time, and I definitely don't want to take too much of your time.
you're good.
Um, what would be the best piece of advice for someone that's trying to buy the first pair of running shoes, whether if it's trail or road races? What would be something that you probably would have wanted to know now that you did not know back when you started?
Yeah. I mean, my number one advice would be is when you're buying your first shoe, you don't have to buy the latest and greatest.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes iterations are really small.
Yeah.
So save your money. Running it is expensive.
Yeah.
The other thing is you don't need a shoe rotation. You're going to be on Instagram, you're going to be on this, and people are going to talk about, I use this shoe for speed work. I use this shoe for long runs. You don't need that. You really don't.
Yeah.
Find a shoe that feels comfortable, you like, and you can do 80% of your miles. Once you fall in love with it, if you want to start getting a shoe rotation, absolutely. But don't fall for the okadoke on Instagram where all these people are saying, if you don't have these 5 shoes, you're not a serious runner. That's not a thing, folks. It is not a thing. As a guy that has a ton of shoes, I am telling you, if you're getting into running, don't fall for it. Find a pair of shoes that's in your price range. Don't break the bank. Find something that's comfortable, and you will be perfectly happy. And once you fall in love with running and you get that itch, and you keep going down the rabbit hole of shoes and everything, then maybe you want to get a shoe rotation. But don't think you have to have a shoe rotation. That's my number one thing, because I hear that all the time where people are like, well, it's so expensive because I need a speed shoe and I need this shoe. You don't.
Yeah.
Don't fall for it. Do people on Instagram, it's a lie, folks. It is a lie. Seriously. You don't need that. And that's my number one advice for people. Find a shoe that feels really nice. And if you're new to running, go to like a running warehouse, go to the sale. You can usually buy the previous years for like $80.
Yeah.
And it's because it's not, at the end of the day, it's not the shoe.
Yeah.
It's not the shoe. It's the community. It's the running, the clearing the mind that you're going to fall in love with.
Yeah.
And the shoes are, again, I do shoe reviews and everything, but that's like secondary. Once you fall in love with the sport, you're not going to leave it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree 100%. And I try to buy not the latest and greatest. I usually go with, let's say the 2025 version came out, I'll probably go to the 2023, 2024 and go from there, because like you said, most of the times it's maybe just a color difference, that's usually, sometimes that's all it is,
Absolutely.
They just slap in a different color to the old shoe and they're like, oh, we got a brand new shoe here, guys.
No, it is. It's so true. And, and again, it's everything in life is so expensive right now. And if I could save you $40, save that $40. Like, you know what I mean? It's okay. But
But that's good. That's good that you say that, because it's good for people to hear it, because like you said, Instagram makes you think that, oh, you gotta have it. And sometimes it's not the real norm, and that's good to hear the reality that you don't need to have the latest and greatest shoe to be a 7-minute pacer or whatever better pace you could be. It's the community, it's the work you put in. And the shoe has some effect, but it's not the main thing. It's what you do and the people you associate with, and the motivation that you get from the groups that you hang out with and whatnot. So that's cool coming from a shoe review person. That's awesome that you can you put that out there, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm humble enough to know, you know what I mean, and it's like I said, I truly, this isn't like me, like I didn't have money growing up. You know what I mean? And I was never buying the latest and greatest. I was able to play college baseball without the latest and greatest. You can do it. You know what I mean? It's not about having the latest and greatest. If you love the sport, you know what I mean? You can get so much from it. And I always like to show, honestly, like, hey, the good and the bad. I always tell that to people, because nothing is all good and nothing is all bad. So.
No, and you hit a real important thing. Like, if you look at all the, athletes in any type of sport, not only running, most of the best runners, most of the best athletes come from humble beginnings where they probably had one pair of shoe and they ran it until their toes they can taste the gum in the in the floor, with their shoe, and they became amazing professional athletes with very little on them, so it shows you that it's not what you wear, it's what you do, so it's awesome that you said that. But we're definitely getting close here to the end, Cody. We can definitely talk about shoes all day, because that's one of my favorite things, shoes, and I love the technology, definitely. But we do have a question from our episode 30 a guest.
Yep.
And we'll let her ask a question, and then you'll come back in here and answer the question, okay?
If you could go to the grocery store and pick 5 things to eat this week, what would it be?
Yeah, so the 5 items, if I'm going to the grocery store right now, and I'm not going with my kids, so let me emphasize that, okay? I'm just going, Cody, this is all I'm buying. Okay. The number 1 item that I'm constantly eating is peanut butter. Okay. Love me some peanut butter. And I actually was just in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. If you know, you know. And I got natural peanut butter. I'm addicted to that. So I'm going natural peanut butter.
Nice.
I'm going strawberries and blueberries. I'm combining the 2. All right.
Okay.
Going with those ones because I really like that. I like the blueberries for the inflammation. Protein powder.
Okay.
With my job on a day-to-day basis, I'm in a lot of meetings. Sometimes I got to drink my calories and I got to drink my protein. All right. Adding that in there.
Okay.
Cereal. I love me some cereal.
Yeah.
Lucky Charms specifically.
Oh man.
All right. Give me some Lucky Charms and I'm a happy camper. In the fall, Halloween time, give me the Count Chocula.
Oh,
I'm a sucker for that. I'm a sucker for that. All right.
Yes.
I try to eat healthy. And then the 5th one, because I got to keep it real with you all. In Pennsylvania, we can do this. I'm buying myself a 6-pack of Coors Banquet beer.
Oh wow.
There you go.
I like that. You got your carbs,
I gotta keep it real. I'm getting
the
the proteins. I'm ready for my run and getting my fruits. And then after the day, celebrating, hanging out on the back deck with my wife, having a nice drink, and that's okay.
That's nothing wrong with that, for sure.
Nope.
Nothing wrong with that. That's a really good combination. And I like the peanut butter and mixed berries when I do a sandwich. It tastes so good. Or add a banana in there. I don't know if you've ever tried that, but peanut butter and jelly with a.
I tried it. I like peanut butter by itself. My family finds it funny. I don't like jelly. I don't mess with the peanut butter. Get a nice piece of bread, put some peanut butter on it, and you're good to go.
Well, that's kind of good for those long runs when you wake up in the morning before your long run and you take that will definitely help out for sure, right?
Cool. Yeah.
and Cody, what would be the question that you would like to throw out there for episode 32?
So I'm a shoe guy and I do shoe reviews. So my question is, what is your all-time favorite shoe? And what was the shoe you were most disappointed in?
Nice. And can we get that one from you?
Yeah. So my all-time favorite shoe is the Nike Turbo OG.
Okay.
It was one of my first running shoes and I felt awesome. I felt legit. Felt so cool.
Yeah.
My least favorite is a trail shoe. It's the Naked shoe. They tried doing a shoe without laces.
Oh, the one that has a little thing on the side that you twist?
No, it has nothing. It looks like a scuba boot. It looks like a scuba boot. Okay?
Oh, wow.
I almost broke my foot in that. I walked back on the trails barefoot.
Oh, wow.
They had a plate in it. It was so thin. I was like, all right, let me try it. I'm still relatively new to the shoe review business. They sent me one out. I really was excited. The plate snapped and I walked back barefoot.
Oh, wow. I've never heard that a plate would snap.
I think they stopped. I think they might have stopped making that, but as my ultimate, I was so excited for it.
Yeah,
it was one of my worst shoes I ever wore.
Oh wow. Well, I guess they figured it out and said this is not working.
Nope, we're gonna stay with the belts. So
yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome, and I appreciate you again being here with us today. And any races, anything coming up that you're training or that you have in the docket?
Nothing yet. So I work at a hospital. I'm a teacher. I'm a professor of college. I have 2 kids. My fall is pretty jam-packed. I might try to do a marathon.
Nice.
We'll see.
Well, that's awesome, man. And I again appreciate your time. And before we leave, where can someone find you if for some reason out there it's the first time they've ever heard of Cody, which would be hard to really fathom that would be it. But where can they find you nowadays?
On YouTube and on Instagram, it's the Shoe In With Cody. So go out there, Follow along. If you have any questions about any shoes, hit me up. My DMs, as Rob found out, DM me on Instagram. I'm pretty accessible. I try to make sure you're getting the answers you need. So yeah, the Shoe In With Cody. I would love to have you guys subscribe and follow along and have some fun with me.
Yes, for sure. Y'all should subscribe. Everybody that's following me should go over there and subscribe, and you'll get a lot of cool stuff from him. And final question: why Shoe In With Cody? How did that come from?
So that's a great question. I didn't know what to do. So like a shoe in, you're a shoe in the win.
Yeah.
So one of my friends, Dan, was like, dude, Shoe In With Cody. And I'm like, and I've kind of put it out. Originally, I was going to be maybe the Garage and a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But I went with Shoe In With Cody. It just ran off and I started testing it with my family and friends. And they were like, that's it. The Shoe In With Cody, because it is a win when they're with you.
Yeah. No, I like it. I like it. And I have to ask this question because I did it when I ran my first marathon. I took off my shoe and I asked the person to put the beer in my shoe and I drank it. Have you ever done that? No.
No. All right. So I love running. And I am okay with this. I have ugly feet. I'm okay with that. I'm an old man. I don't have any feet issues. There's no way I'm putting my mouth near my feet. All right. I'm not a foot guy. We all heard Rob has a thing for feet. I do not. I am not a foot guy. I'm a person that likes I like beer. I like shoes. They should not be together. You'll never see Cody. And I get this a lot. People are like, pour the beer in the shoe and drink it out. Will not happen. I am sorry. If you're following along me this journey with hopes one day that this happens, I can promise you there's a 0% chance that ever happens. Not even 1%. 0% chance.
So what you're saying is there's still a chance.
There's still a chance. Absolutely. So that means you better follow along because there's still that chance.
You never know when that might happen.
I take that sweaty, gross shoe and I drink a beer out of it.
Yeah. And it's funny because when I did it, there was this lady that looked at me and she's like, oh my God, that's gross. And I turned around and I said, you want some? I had to ask, man. I had to ask because you're the shoe guy. Obviously, I got to ask that question.
And I appreciate that. There's limits to what I will do with a shoe. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So
what about a clean shoe, a brand new shoe?
Nope. See, I got to live my life by example. I have 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
If I can't I can't have something out of my shoe and then tell my 5-year-old she can't, right? I got to live by an example.
That's
and
true.
If my little one starts pouring grape juice in her shoe and getting it all over the house, then I'm probably sleeping on the couch. So I'm thinking of myself here, folks. I'm thinking of my mouth, thinking of my feet, and thinking of not sleeping on the couch because my kid's getting grape juice everywhere.
Yeah, I can see that your wife might not be very happy.
She's amazing, but there are her limits with my shenanigans.
You should always, like they say, happy wife, happy life. So let's
absolutely.
Way, right?
Yep. So.
All right, Cody. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for your time again. And again, you guys should go follow him. He's an amazing shoe review person that I love what he does. And I hope you continue the success. And we'll see you next time, man. All right?
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All righty, bud. Have a good one.
All right. Later.
Bye-bye.